Welcome into the Locked On NBA 2023 free agency special. Nick Angstead here from Locked On NBA and Locked On Mavericks. I'm joined by Kylan Mills of the Locked On Warriors podcast to talk about Draymond Green re-signing, the first name off the board in free agency, signed for 4 years, $100 million, according to Shams Charania as of right now. Kylan Mills, your initial reaction to Draymond returning to the Warriors?
Okay, my initial reaction, Nick, good to see you. Not a huge shock. I mean, all reports and everything I was hearing leading up to this free agency madness day was that the intent was for Draymond Green to return to the Warriors. His agent had said that. There were multiple reports out about that as well. And then the Warriors' new front office, I say new because general manager Bob Myers out, Mike Dunleavy Jr. in, now leading the charge, was very upfront and talking with the media and saying that he wanted Draymond Green back with this organization. And that was a big focus for this front office as they approach free agency. So both sides were pretty upfront going into this that they wanted there to be a reunion. Draymond wanted to stay with Golden State, and the Warriors are not ready to break up the big three, the core that is Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, and Draymond Green. So all signs are pointing to these two sides coming together. The big question was going to be, what is the dollar amount? There have been so many rumors swirling about what Draymond Green is going to ask for, dating all the way back to last summer, where rumors were swirling that he was going to ask for a max extension. With the Warriors so deep into the luxury tax, that just was not going to be an option. Honestly, I mean, there were rumors even just weeks ago that Draymond might be asking for $150 for 3 years. So to me, seeing a 4-year, $100 million contract with a player option in that final season as well, I think is on par with what, the Golden State Warriors were looking for, in addition to still paying Draymond. I think it's kind of interesting seeing some of the reactions, though. Some folks saying, around the league saying that they think Draymond is overpaid. Meanwhile, some Warriors fans happy with the deal, given, like I said, the rumors of what Draymond was going to be asking for leading into this. But I think it's a good deal for the Warriors. I think it's a good deal for Draymond. I don't see Draymond Green having the same value with another organization that he has with the Warriors. And for the Warriors, this is a group that's not ready to break up the core. I think that, there'd be major ramifications if you take Draymond Green out of the picture and away from Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. I mean, I personally think that, we could really see the wheels fall off, because Draymond Green has been the heart and soul of this organization. He's a player who brings the group together. Sure, there was some drama this past season, but he's been a cornerstone of this championship run for the Golden State Warriors. The big three want to stay together. And I just think if he had gone, that there would have been a domino effect for the Warriors. So bringing him back, I think, is a great sign in terms of keeping this core together. And why not run it back one more time? I actually don't think the Warriors are in bad shape. I'd like to see them make a couple more free agency signings to shore up the front court, but I don't think the roster is looking bad right now, and Draymond Green's an important piece of that.
If you think Draymond is overpaid at 4 years, $100 million, does he bring the same amount of value as Cam Johnson, 4 years, $108 million, or Kyle Kuzma, 4 years, $102 million? That's just the nature of the NBA now at this point. If you were Mike Dunleavy and you were trying to pitch Draymond and trying to change his mind on what some people thought Draymond wanted more, like you mentioned earlier, what would be your pitch, or what would have been your pitch to him to get him to take this 4 year, $125 million or $100 million deal?
To me, the biggest thing on the line for Draymond Green and this Warriors core is the legacy piece. I think that's just such a huge factor in what are you going to leave behind? What is the thing people are going to remember most about you in terms of your NBA career? I think that it's a huge focus for this front office to try to allow Steph Curry, Draymond Green, and even Klay Thompson, who's also come up in terms of some, trade rumors or just maybe fans speculating that they think he could be a piece that the Warriors could afford to move. But I think for the Warriors to really walk away with both the players in the front office having the legacy they want to leave behind from this championship run, they want to see those three guys retire in Golden State Warriors uniforms. Draymond Green, as I mentioned, has been the heart and soul of this team. Yes, you have Steph Curry, who has been one of the greatest players in the NBA. We've seen him, leave his mark on the court, but Draymond Green, while he may not stuff the stat sheet in terms of scoring points the way Steph Curry does so many other things for this organization, both on and off the court, in terms of his leadership, the way that he fires up his team. The defensive work he does cannot be replicated by anyone. I think he's a future Hall of Famer in my eyes, in addition to the way he's able to run this very complicated Warriors motion offense and the way he works with Steph Curry in the pick and roll. There are just so many intangibles that Draymond Green brings that I don't think another player could replace if you did let him go and try to bring someone in who's similar. You may find someone who's similar, but he just has a certain special combination of skills in terms of being able to work with Steph Curry, being able to run this offense, having a great relationship with Steve Kerr. I mean, how many other coaches could also handle Draymond Green in terms of some of the on-court antics? He's known to be a little bit of a hothead. We're not even going to get into all that, but I just think it's the perfect marriage for both sides. And to me, if you're trying to pitch Draymond Green, it's the legacy piece. I mean, imagine going through and retiring as a Golden State Warrior. Could we run it back and add one more championship? I mean, that would be the pitch to me. Like, you could walk away from your NBA career winning another championship for this organization, cementing yourself as one of the greatest of all time and one of the most loyal, which is something you don't see in the NBA anymore these days. And for this core to stay together for this long and potentially ride it out with the Warriors, that would be something really special that would go down in the history books. Although they already have, 4 championships isn't bad. To takes the legacy to the next level.
Last thing for you. Now that Draymond has been re-signed, Jordan Poole has been shipped out. Reportedly one of their things that they were fighting about or going back and forth about, jawing about, was about money. Do you think now that this is past them, that Jordan Poole is gone and Draymond is re-signed?
I do. I think this is past them. I hope it is past them. I mean, my biggest thing that I told you just before we went on is just, I think it's great for both Jordan and Draymond Green to try to move on in terms of getting a fresh start this upcoming season.
Jordan Poole agrees.
Yeah, I mean, no kidding. It just was unfortunate because of the punch, last season before a game was even played. It hung over the team the entire season. It was just a difficult situation to move on from. The team never clicked last year. The chemistry piece was just not quite there. And you just kept looking back and pointing to that setting the tone for the entire season. So I personally didn't see a way that those two would come back and then this team would move forward to be successful and chase a championship based on the way everything played out last year. Jordan Poole struggled in the postseason last year. He never looked comfortable, and I just think it was time for both sides. So, I think that this was the best case scenario to me. Unfortunately, it made more sense for Jordan Poole to move on than Draymond Green. I just talked about the legacy, the history he has with the organization. Yes, Jordan Poole is a young player with maybe a brighter future because Draymond Green's in the twilight of his career. But at the same time, this made the most sense in terms of sending Jordan Poole to the Wizards, re-signing Draymond Green. I hope both of them can move past this. The organization can move past this. I think they can. And I think this is the best for all parties.
There it is. You can follow more Warriors news with Kylan Mills and Cyrus Satzes over on Locked On Warriors 5 days a week. Go check them out and subscribe to the channel if you're not. Thanks so much for joining us on the Locked On NBA Free Agency 2023.